It's summer. Everything's growing. And you are a human. So summer's got that way of revealing a truth about commitment, um, not the early season excitement or the bright flare that's all solstice, but that moment now, the heavy humming stretch between solstice and lunasa, where the forest is thick with life and nothing is standing still. Everything's growing and maturing and asking to be tended. And in that atmosphere, commitment feels bigger and more present. It becomes something you carry in your chest, something that shapes your days, something that asks for your presence even when you're tired, distracted, or pulled in about 10 or 20 different directions because life is messy. And maintenance becomes the real work of summer. It's not about beginnings anymore or intentions, it's about tending what you've already planted, keeping faith with what you started, showing up for the things that matter, even if the novelty's worn off. And because commitment is big and slipping from that commitment can feel big too, missing a day, a week, losing momentum, not making the effort you mean to make. And that can feel really heavy, especially when the world around you seems to be thriving with zero hesitation. The bracken's waist high, the brambles everywhere, the trees are pouring energy into fruit and seed, and it just feels tireless. It's easy to look at all the growth and think that you should be matching it. But, newsflash, humans aren't forests. We don't have endless reserves of energy. We don't grow in one direction. We don't have a single biological imperative. We've got responsibilities, emotions, exhaustion, unexpected disruptions, and days where we simply cannot do what we intended. So slipping isn't failure, it's just human. It's universal. It's part of the rhythm of any real practice. The forest doesn't grow at a constant pace, and neither do you. And I think this is where we can link the Oamin as such a powerful ally, because it doesn't punish you for slipping. It never shames you for missing your practice. It never tells you that you failed. The Oam is gentle. It's not soft or vague, but gentle in the way that the forest is gentle and honest and clear and so utterly without judgment. When your commitment wavers, the staves aren't going to scold you. They'll simply show you what's happening. So if willow rises, it's often because emotional tides have pushed you off course, not as weakness, but as a natural part of being human. If alder appears, it's usually because your energy has been spent elsewhere, given away before you've even reached your own commitments. And if ash pops up, maybe it's revealing that your connections and obligations, relationships and responsibilities have tangled your time. Maybe elder steps in, and that's there to help you release the guilt and clearing the emotional debris so you can return to whatever you've slipped from without shame. None of these staves are saying you should have done better. What the message is you've been pulled away. So let's look at it. It's not as an accusation, but just a bit of encouragement, and not as a judgment, but as proper clarity. The OM understands the weight of commitment, the reality of maintenance, and the humanity of slipping. And it knows when you care deeply, falling short hurts. But it also knows that slipping doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're carrying something big. And here is the truth, really, that people rarely admit. Pressuring yourself to maintain a practice will weaken it. When commitment becomes a chore, a should, an obligation you drag behind you, the thread begins to fray. The intent thins, the connection dulls, and what once felt meaningful becomes something you resent or avoid, or you perform it without heart. Practice maintained through pressure is a practice already dying. Commitment thrives when it's wanted and not forced. Maintenance strengthens when it's chosen and not demanded, so showing up becomes more powerful when it comes from desire instead of guilt. And that's why slipping isn't a moral failure. It's a signal that your rhythm needs to change, that your expectations were maybe too heavy, or a signal that your life demanded more than you could give, or a signal that your practice needs to be reshaped into something sustainable. Summer teaches this clarity. Everything grows, but nothing grows perfectly. Everything thrives, but nothing thrives without rest. Everything expands, but everything also pauses. You are allowed to pause too. So, as Lunasa approaches in around 3-4 weeks, the land prepares for its first harvest. Lunasa is not a celebration of perfection, it is a recognition of whatever has grown. Some things will be abundant, some things will be sparse. Some things will be tangled, and others will be unfinished. But some will be thriving. That's normal. Lunasa doesn't ask for flawless effort, it just asks for your honesty. It asks for the gratitude of what did grow, even if it wasn't everything you intended. And your practice is no different. Your harvest, what you tend. You learn from what you didn't. Commitment's big, maintenance is big, but slipping is human. So remember, you're allowed to pause, you're allowed to drift, you're allowed to rest, and you're allowed to return gently, and you're allowed to begin again without shame. Owen meets you exactly where you are, every time, not with punishment, but with clarity and compassion, and the invitation to begin again. Remember, you can always begin again. Have a lovely evening, everybody, and I'll see you soon.